Hello, I'm Sharon and this is The Lifelong Learner, and I am watching a film for every place that I visit. First stop, Zurich. The film I chose for Zurich is a 2016 Swiss-German film called Wintergast, and it is all shot in black and white. This black and white film moves at a very slow and thoughtful pace. It feels sort of very artistic and is very subtle and moving. It's got a sort of empty feeling to it. There's long periods of silence and you sort of see visuals of empty corridors, and I quite like that kind of sense of empty space. It centres around a character who's going through a sort of midlife crisis. He's in the process of writing a script that seems like it's never going to really get written, and he takes on a job to make ends meet as a hostel reviewer. So he goes around to these various hostels to review them. So, he's putting on the gloves and he's like wiping down the surfaces to see if there's any dust, taking pictures. And he does this all across various different hostels in Switzerland. As he travels around these various hostels, he continues to write and work on his screenplay, and he's almost obsessively trying to write the most perfect script. I think the overarching message of the film is to stop striving for perfection, to be content in the moment and to be content with what you have. In other words, simple things matter, and I really thought this film was beautiful and I gave this a 4.5 stars. Next stop, Frankfurt. The film I chose for Frankfurt is And Tomorrow the Entire World, which is a 2020 German film. It centres around the character Louisa, and it is all about her joining Antifa. So Louisa joins this group and the film follows the group as their response to the right wing becomes more and more radical. I thought the topic of an extreme left-wing group was interesting, as it's not really something that I've been exposed to in a film before, but unfortunately it didn't really hold my attention. I liked the idea of the film rather than the actual execution, and I think it centred too much on a love story that I wasn't overly enthralled with. I didn't really feel like I got to know any of the characters adequately, which kind of just left me feeling a little bit bored, if I'm honest. Overall, I like the idea of this film rather than the execution, which is a shame because I do think this could have made for a really interesting film, as the topic itself is fascinating. So all in all, I gave this film 2.5 stars. Final stop, Brussels. The film I chose for Brussels is Lola and the Sea, which is a 2021 film which focuses on a transgender character going from male to female. Lola is the main character in this film, and her mother has recently died, which brings her back into connection with her father, who does not get on with her as he does not accept the fact that she's transgender and he's hugely transphobic. In the film, you watch the father as he really struggles to accept his daughter and understand her identity. The death of the mother ends up bringing the two of them together as they travel around with the cremated ashes, and we kind of watch the highs and lows of their tumultuous relationship. Overall, it was a beautifully made film, and whilst there's a lot of films and books out there that focus on trans issues, I didn't really feel like this was overly cliched or anything. So overall, I gave this 3.5 stars. So those are my picks for Zurich, Switzerland, Frankfurt in Germany, and Brussels in Belgium. I've also been doing this for the various other places that I'm visiting, so feel free to check those out, and I'm also doing it for books as well. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.